That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 133 of Camp Strange. I'm your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor. Tobin's just waiting for me waiting to see what I'm gonna say this time.
I'm looking at you, side-eyeing you.
I'm David.
That's it. That's all he is. That's all he'll ever be.
Yep.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange in golf. Golf. I'm bad at golf, but sometimes I'm good at golf. David, are you good at golf?
I don't think so. I've
Yeah.
only played like twice, so probably bad.
You seem like a golfing type. Like you would play golf a lot.
Is that because I'm white?
No, it's because you love day drinking.
That too.
But yeah, no. I mean, hey, let's go make some people mad about how slow we play on a golf course one of these days. But before we do that, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And I have a story right here that'll just warm your heart because it warmed mine. As dog who kept sneaking into a Dollar General for a unicorn toy gets his plush and a new start. So, apparently this dog kept it was, where is this, North Carolina. It kept sneaking into a North Carolina Dollar General store, and it says it's like a pit mix or something like that, but it kept sneaking into the store every single time somebody would leave the store, and it would head straight for the toy section in the back and try to grab the same purple unicorn every single time after it got chased out of the store.
Aww.
I know, it's
a dollar store. Just let him have it.
Oh, I mean, I even got to the worst part yet. So this dog kept, each time it went to grab the plush purple unicorn toy, and they finally had to lock the doors, and they called animal control. Goddamn heartless Dollar General. But animal control showed up, and it says Samantha Lane, the officer responding to the Dollar General store's call, was so taken with the dog's devotion to the unicorn that she bought the $10 toy for the dog.
How is it $10 in a dollar store?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I don't even care that the dog got the toy. I'm so mad at Dollar General, one, for calling animal control, but two, for charging $10 for this and not just giving it for free, right? Give the dog the toy.
It's hogwash. They're
But
like, well, it ends with $1, $10, $20.
I mean, that's where I bought my Michael Jordan cologne in the can.
Hell yeah.
That was a really good buy.
I bet.
And
the best cologne I've ever gotten, I got it for free when I bought a Old Dirty Bastard t-shirt.
At the Dollar General?
No, I don't know where it was.
Oh. Ever since I used that cologne, I've been very vindictive and bitter at anybody that's tried to play against me in basketball. So,
yeah.
But there is a silver lining. So they brought the dog to the shelter, and it curled up with the purple unicorn. It stayed there for a few days, hoping. They said that they hoped that the dog belonged to somebody because it would have made more sense if the dog ran to the dog food section and like ripped open a bag, but it kept going to the unicorn toy. So they think that it belonged to a family that had a child that had a purple unicorn or something similar in that way. But, after posting on social media, they didn't get any hits, but don't worry because they got a bunch of calls to try to adopt this little girl, and they named her after, I never saw that Raya and the Last Dragon movie. I do want to see it, but they named it Sisu, S-I-S-U, after a character, I think it might be the dragon from that movie. And,
yeah, I tried to watch that the other night and was immediately furious when it told me I had to pay extra on top of what I'm already paying for Disney Plus.
No, really?
Yeah, it's like, yo, you have to have premium.
HBO Max ain't doing that. They're letting us watch Monkey vs. Lizard for free.
Tomorrow?
Is that tomorrow?
Big Monkey.
Oh. So it's not tomorrow for you guys. It's yesterday for you guys. So go watch Monkey vs. Lizard. But
Big Monkey versus bigger lizard. But Big Monkey have axe.
And abs.
Yeah.
Wait, he has axe?
Yeah, I think he has an axe or a sword. He has some mystical 300-foot sword or something.
He does not. He probably tore the like Golden Gate Bridge in half and is using one of the
No.
the Golden Gates.
No, it's definitely like a magical weapon from a volcano or some shit.
But luckily, I think it says Sisu did. I think he's getting or she's getting adopted, which is very exciting stuff. But here's Dollar General knew that this was bad press, so they decided to reach out. They told People magazine and that Dollar General plans to send a few extra purple unicorns for the adoptive family, a thank you gift to Animal Control Officer Lane, and a pet food donation to the Duplin County Animal Services. So they did.
I could just see the CEO of Dollar General being like, "Yeah, let's send him some." They're like, "How many?" He pulls his wallet out. And he's like, 5.
He's like, send him like $1 worth of gift and $1 worth of food and of course
$1 worth of Nerds candy.
You send him some Michael Jordan body spray.
Because that dog smelled.
That's a stanky dog. No, it's a good dog, and it got a good home and a good unicorn. So it's a very happy story, and there's some very cute pictures online if you want to go check them out. They're very sweet. So
yeah,
start off with a good one.
Yeah. All right, my news story says dog sneaks into Dollar Tree to steal.
to steal man's virginity. Ooh, a little darker on this one.
No, Trinity College in Perth bans mullet haircuts, labeling them unacceptable.
That's not okay.
Yeah, so Trinity College is an elite private boys' school in Perth, which I didn't know. They didn't
Western
invite
Australia.
me. They didn't invite me. But what I did not know is that the mullet is an Australian hairstyle.
Really?
I guess so. It reigns from Austria.
That's what?
Australia.
He thinks of
Austin.
That's the opening scene of Dumb and Dumber where he goes, "I love your accent. Where's it from?" She goes, "Austria," and he goes, "Put another shrimp on the barbie." He's like, "Let's not." But
Yeah.
I mean, America has really taken it and ran with it. I have to say, we've really gotten the mullet baton and really put it on a pedestal because it's doing well over here in certain parts. And my cousin had one in the 90s as a child.
I feel like every child has one at one point.
Well, he was also very, very into WWF wrestling, so I feel like that kind of comes with the territory in the 90s.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple big stars that were rocking the mullet, I have to say, probably, right?
How many barbed wire tattoos does he have today?
Just one, but it goes
Just one.
all the way around his body like a coil. It's like he's in the middle of razor wire. He's in the razor wire circle.
I love that.
Yeah, I always think about if you got trapped in there. What would that be like?
It wouldn't be fun.
No, you'd be like, it's Death Slinky. So, but it kind of makes sense though because Australia, we love Australia, but like, hey, it started as a prison, so if you like WWF and you like prison, you might have a mullet. Just saying. And I love it. I love both places, so sign me up. I have another story right here as Anchorage Costco customers say ravens are stealing their groceries in the parking lot.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love a good raven tail.
I know. David dresses in robes and goes and stands in the forest. And he's like, "Have you seen the raven?"
That's not far off. Do you know about the raven in my family?
No.
Yeah. Every Christmas, the raven comes instead of Santa. And someone in our family likes to decorate the house in raven stuff. And wrap random objects throughout the house. Like sometimes it's like the TV remote, sometimes it's like car keys of someone who's there. Sometimes it's like a bottle of Tabasco. And yeah, he just gives them out to people on Christmas. Everybody's always excited to see what they get from the Raven that year.
That's actually fun.
Yeah, no one knows who the Raven is, but
well, if you're lucky enough, you might get this Raven because one customer from South Anchorage, Alaska's Costco said he realized he was robbed when he was walking out to the parking lot as he had something underneath his cart, and when he turned back to see the bottom of the cart, something was missing. Can you guess what it was, David? And you better hope that you get this Raven for Christmas.
Toilet paper.
No, it wasn't a toilet paper Raven.
Garbage bags.
It was.
I burned through garbage bags.
That leg.
Yep.
Wrap it again. I wish the Raven would wrap your leg for Christmas.
Fly away with it. Me too.
Stinky ass leg. No, this Raven steals filet mignon steaks, boy.
Whoo!
Sheesh.
That's a bird of taste.
He steals steaks. So he had he looked over and saw a Raven with this big old, well, filet mignons aren't big, but just a steak in his mouth. And he left with 3 other steaks. So it was a 4-pack, which is like, what a flex. Who's buying a 4-pack of filet mignon? I'm buying half a filet mignon.
Yeah, that's at least $80 right there.
You think?
No, I don't fucking know.
No, I mean, you're probably right.
Yeah,
I see
possible.
some steaks at Costco, and I'm like, ooh, I wish they didn't sell them in bulk.
Yeah, can I get one? Just take one out and walk out with it.
Seriously. I just put it on my eye, and I got hit with a baseball.
One of your employees punched me. I need to go.
I still can't imagine, like, that scene from The Sandlot when he gets hit in the eye with the baseball and he fucking puts the steak on his eye. It still blows my mind. I'm like, are they going to eat that later? You can't eat that now. You can't eat that, right?
Yeah, you can eat it later. Yeah, if you cook it, it's going to burn off all that eye goop.
All that black eye. But there's another Raven, of course. It stole a pack of steaks this time. Not filet mignon, but you can't always get what you want.
Yeah,
So
you
Rolling
can't always hit
Stone
the top
said.
shelf. You can't enjoy the filet mignon without a little chuck.
There's another one. Oh, pack of steaks, and then there's another one. They're big meatheads. As another one got a package of short ribs and was flying away with the entire package in his mouth.
One time, a wasp stole one of my chicken nuggets.
A wasp stole your chicken nugget. I feel like you told me this before.
It was traumatizing.
How does it was a full chicken nugget?
No, it was half.
Okay. See, that's
Which I'm
meat.
not sure. I don't know how I didn't eat the whole thing in one bite, but
Yo, that wasp is me leaving Costco with half my filet mignon. Just my long legs and my bulbous body. And I
you
bite.
got long
Oh,
legs.
don't try to stop me. I bite. I don't sting, but I bite like a motherfucker. I got 3 wasps in my shirt one time, and I got bit like 7 times.
I froze a wasp once and put a leash on it and tied it to my mom's door handle on her car.
Welcome to Camp Wasp. We're just going to be telling you wasp stories. Did you really do that?
Yeah.
I've seen people do that with like flies, and they make them into pets or whatever.
Yeah, no, I did that, but with a wasp.
You put the boy in a coma and then tied him to a string. Did you
It's a little
untie him
freeze.
after? What happened?
I
Oh, David,
feel like a
don't-
tennis racket had to get involved.
You probably
was
went
no-
right through the holes.
There was no untying in this situation.
Oh no.
It was not happy, to say the least, about its whole leash situation.
I would guess so. Probably chewed right through that dental floss. Oh, anyway. So if you guys are in South Anchorage, Alaska, at your Costco, just make sure to hide your meat from the ravens, because they're coming. Also, if you're walking out some chicken nuggets, hot dog, that's wasp territory. They get the trimmings after the ravens are done. So be careful of them wasps too.
I wish we had ravens in Oregon.
You guys don't have ravens? What's the difference between a raven and a crow?
I'm pretty sure a raven is goddamn turkey-sized.
They have to be bigger, right?
I think it's just
Picking
like a
up
massive
whole pack
crow.
of short ribs.
Yeah, I think it's just like a massive crow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're like super intelligent.
Yeah, they are. Oh yeah, you know what? I did know one thing about ravens, that if like you fuck with them, they recognize people, and they'll like come back, and like if you show back up, they'll like attack you, but like not other people, because they like recognize you, and they also mourn their dead.
Yeah, they're smart ass birds.
Yes, very smart. So, and they have good taste.
Mm.
Ain't no wasp eating half a chicken nuggum.
Ooh. All right. Lindsey
the wasp
Graham
comes back. I need sweet and sour sauce.
Too bad this is a ranch house. You get the fuck out of here.
That's the only dipping sauce. Like barbecue and sweet and sour are mine. Sweet and sour first, but
yeah, if part of it for me is I do go for the sweet and sour when it's the thing, because it's like you can have ranch and barbecue sauce at home. No one's got a thing of sweet and sour.
That's
at
exactly
home.
what I was about to say. You have to. There's a reason why I have sweet and sour sauces in tiny containers in my fridge from other fast food restaurants.
Oh, I don't support that.
No, I just mean like I don't eat them all, so like I have leftovers, because you gotta have have a Chick-fil-A sauce in there. You know, barbecue sauce, you just get some Sweet Baby Ray's ketchup, you get some Heinz, some Hunt's, whatever you got going on, but you can never get the sweet and sour in a store. They don't have it.
Yeah.
So.
How? Okay, so what is your number one fast food sauce? Dipping sauce.
Chick-fil-A sauce, I have to say.
Have you tried Chick-fil-A's Polynesian sauce?
Yes, it's weird because it threw me for a loop though, because I was expecting sweet and sour, and then it like wasn't, so I was immediately like turned off from it, but I really didn't give it a fighting chance. I went straight back to the Chick-fil-A.
You got to give it another shot. It's something else. It's the only reason I'd go there. Now I don't go there because the company sucks, and there isn't one within like 100 miles, but
I feel like you should have led with the second one.
No.
I've met drunk David. There are no morals.
or distances.
He sobered up 3 times driving there.
So, Lindsey Graham says he owns an AR-15 in case of natural disaster and gangs.
That's so funny you bring that up, because literally this weekend, Chris Barlow was here, and Katie, and my girlfriend, and she fuck off, and she goes, "Oh, Lindsey Graham," and I go, "Who's that?" And Chris goes, "That's the guy from Frasier."
Well, guess what? Frasier's coming back.
And I go, "I don't," and then Katie's like, "Huh, is it?" And I'm sitting there, I go, "I don't think it is." And then eventually we came to Kelsey Grammer, and it definitely wasn't. Oh, she's texting me from the other room. I think it wasn't Chris, it was Brett. Oh, it was Brett. Well, you know what? I'm throwing Chris underneath the bus, but let's pretend it's just Chris, because it's funnier to mess with Chris.
Yeah, and he's appeared on this podcast, so people can connect better.
Yeah, that guy doesn't know Lindsey Graham from a Niles brother.
Oh, well, I was wondering what's Niles' name.
Oh, dude, I don't know at all.
Niles.
I never even really seen the show.
Frasier. All I know is there's a little dog. I don't know how they're gonna do
an old man.
I don't get how they're gonna do he's played by David Hyde Pierce.
Oh, David Hyde Pierce. I have heard that name before.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Anyway, so wait, what was he talking about? He's got an AR-15?
Yeah, Lindsey Olin, Graham, middle name Olin. He's an American lawyer, politician serving as the senior United States Senator from South Carolina.
Not funny guy from Cheers. Not uptight guy from Cheers.
No. So, yeah, he says he owns an AR-15, one of the classic assault rifles that at the end of the day, the only reason to own one is for, like, fun. Like, no one is hunting with an AR-15.
Except
the way I look
Ravens.
at it, it's like I like compare an AR-15 to like those like Hondas from Tokyo Drift, where like people just like put a ton of money into it, and it's like, look, it's pink and it's got flames on it. It's kind of just like a hobby gun, I think. But
yeah, it's overkill.
It's a tactical assault rifle.
Pun intended.
Yeah. And Yeah, he says he has it in case of natural disaster or gangs. Or
I-
no, he says natural disaster and gangs. So the possibility of a gang of natural disasters.
I just can't wait for him to run out in the middle of a tornado and just start shooting right into the Twister. I'm gonna get you, Twister. And then there's a bunch of gang members in it, like you said. Oh, that is something else.
Yeah.
You've been jumped in the eye of a tornado. I haven't, but that's why.
Oh man, I'm from Oregon. We don't get that shit. We just get rain all year.
True. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. It's just like, I don't know. Think of a better excuse if you want to keep it. I'm okay if you want to keep it. Just like think of a better excuse, and then I'll be like, okay, that seems valid, but doesn't seem like he has a good one yet.
Yeah,
And-
if you love your AR-15s, find a way to get a positive story in the news with one.
Man kills all ravens at South Anchorage Costco with AR-15. Saves filet mignon. Has filet mignon barbecue for entire town. There we go.
Yeah.
Also Raven meat.
Yeah,
Yum.
that's all my news.
Anyway, yeah, it's all my news too. So I guess we should just jump into these stories we got, right, David?
Right.
That's why we're here. That's what we're here to do.
I think. Yeah.
He thinks.
I'm checking my
Checking his-
calendar.
See if I wrote a story this week.
Checking my blood pressure. Yeah, we're good.
Yep, high, still high. Cool.
Still high. That's how I like to keep it that way, so I can run faster. That's how it works, right?
That's it. Anyway, let's get into these stories. Now, David, when I say twin, what do you think of?
I think of two things that are the same.
Is it the guy from TikTok that you look like?
No, it's not that guy.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure there's tons of twins on TikTok that's their whole identity.
Yeah. They just like say the same things at the same time, and then they're like,
Are you doing a twin story about some basketball players?
no. You know what? I was tempted, but I'm
Is
not.
this
no.
the Prestige?
Oh my God! Wait, they're not twins. This intro's fucked up. This story isn't about twins.
Your twin wrote the intro. It's fine.
Fuck. I didn't really even write an intro. I was just kind of ballparking it. But yeah, this story's not about twins. David, when I say
Boy,
sisters, what do you
that's
think
good.
of?
I think of my sister.
Cool.
You're just jealous you don't have one.
I don't have one, but I wish I had a sister who could bring her friends over, and then they have a slumber party, and then I'm spying on them, and
From the staircase?
I have my talk boy, you know, the talk boy from Home
yeah.
Alone,
Yeah.
and I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but it's the 90s, so I have to have my talk boy. Anyway, so well, when I think of sisters, I think of two very particular sisters from the early 1900s that made the headline news for a horrible, vicious, and brutal crime that they committed. And that's right, if you guys are fans of true crime, then you definitely know about these two sisters, because not only were they murderers, but they're just straight up weirdos as well. So let's just get into the story of the Papin sisters. So, the Papin sisters, Christine and Leah, were born 7 years apart, not twins, of course, in 1905 and 1911 to French parents Clemence and Gustave in Le Mans, France.
Le Mans.
Dude, I swear this is like our third story that has to do with Le Mans, I feel like.
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Is that why
Bridge.
I'm getting deja vu saying lemons like that?
I think so. I feel like, remember the lady who cut off her husband's leg for an insurance policy? I feel like that was in Le Mans.
We talked about that?
Oh my God, are you serious?
Dude, I told you.
Oh, maybe. Oh, shit.
I actually hit
No,
my head
you
really hard
weren't-
on a garage door this morning. So
wait. No, you weren't. I think that David the Coward was in on that episode.
probably I didn't listen to that.
Oh.
Sound like shit.
Dude, we do this for you? You bail on us and then you're going to besmirch our episode?
No, I mean I turned it on. He was like on like speakerphone. I turned it off.
You fucking piece of
You
shit.
guys live in the same city.
It's COVID.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking in your background. You could have put a microphone around that little thing right there. He could have been on the other side of that glass.
Levitating, there's stairs down there. He would have fallen.
Get him a ladder. If he fell, would
Okay.
have been hilarious. Are you kidding me? That would have gotten us like 1,000 listeners if he fell during the recording.
Yeah, the audio of somebody falling is always funnier than the video. Everybody knows that. It's first rule of comedy. So let's just get into the story like I was saying. So they're in Le Mans, France. So Christine was the older of the two sisters, but not the oldest sister of the bunch, as Clemens and Gustav did have a former child, Amelia, that came with some troubles. You see, Amelia was born in 1901, just 4 years before Christine, and at the inception of Clemens and Gustav's relationship. But the only issue was there were rumors that it was not Gustav's child, and that Clemens was seen. I don't even know if I'm saying the name right, but that Clemens was seeing another man, her employer or boss.
It's always the boss.
It's always the sexy boss. I hate when I have a sexy boss.
You'd think they're so busy with running the company, but no, they're just doing sit-ups the whole time and tanning.
In their office, in their upside down crunch machine.
Their Batmobile leg clamps.
Yeah, they're sitting on a yoga ball at their desk.
Eating a fucking kale salad.
And a tangerine.
But just,
fucking
just
my
the
wife.
peel.
Fucking my wife. No tangerine eater fucks my wife. So So Gustav apparently had his suspicions. So instead of calling her out right then and there about, sleeping with the boss, he played a much more difficult card and decided to get a new job in another town to drag Clemens away from her lover.
Oh, I thought it was for a second. I thought you were trying to say that it was his boss.
Oh, no, it was her boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I got a new job. We're leaving town. And when Clemens was told about the move, she declared she would rather commit suicide than leave Le Mans. And that was enough evidence for Gustav to start developing a drinking problem that in turn began to deteriorate the marriage. So, I mean, you read between the lines, Yeah. Who's like, I think we should go on vacation for like a little bit. She's like, I'll kill myself. And you're like, okay, we don't have to go on vacation. It's fine. We could just go to the park, take a walk. Can we go to the tangerine store, honey? No, we can't go to the fucking tangerine store. No more tangerines in this house.
What about the sit-up store?
I haven't been to the sit-up store in quite a while.
Discount Crunch.
That sounds like some off-brand Captain Crunch. Yeah, it's not yellow. It's a little brown, but it won't
comes
cut
in a bag.
But it will double cut the roof of your mouth off because it's stale as shit.
Yeah, you got no boxes here.
So if you couldn't tell, this family was doomed for a horrible existence already. But get ready because there's more. So after Christine and Leah were born, the two younger sisters, they were immediately given to different aunts and uncles as her mother was deemed unfit of nurturing children. Which is crazy because although Christine and Leah were safe away from their parents, Amelia, the older sister from the first possible boss sex scene, she was still in the care of Clemens and Gustav, which made no sense at all. They're like, you're not fit to raise children, but keep the one you've been fucking up for a while, right? Because we don't want to be moving her around. So,
sorry, my finger just started bleeding.
What? I'm still concerned now, but the face you made over FaceTime just really scared me, David.
It
What
was
did
one
I
of those
say?
It was one of those things where you had a cut that you didn't know about, and then all of a sudden you see like blood in a weird spot, but you can tell it's not bleeding from that spot. And you're like, wait, where am I bleeding from? I'm fine. It's fine, guys.
Blood in a
going, sorry.
blood in a weird spot is the name of my memoir.
I was gonna say that sounds like a really shitty song by oh, what's his face?
Blood in a weird spot. Blood in a weird spot. It's good.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
So I mean,
Continue.
we'll
I'll
get
just
to.
wipe it. I'll wipe it on my leg. I'll take a shower later.
so that's David for you. So and we'll get to the blood in the weird spots later. But like I said, they were able to keep the oldest daughter, but they were forced to give the two younger daughters away, and it just doesn't make sense at all. But that's like 1905, 1915 France. So
Yeah.
it was also a shame the courts focused so heavily on Clemence and not on Gustav, saying Clemence was like an unfit mother. But they didn't focus on Gustav at all. But it was a shame because it wasn't long after that Gustav was caught by Clemence molesting his 10-year-old daughter, which is awful, horrible, and obviously just like it's awful. So
yeah, that's not
so-
good.
But what I'm about to say next is more awful because Clemence, in a rage, blamed Amelia, her daughter that just got molested by her father. She blamed her for seducing her father and in turn sent her to the Bon Pastor Catholic Orphanage, which was known for its brutality and discipline.
I feel like that's just such a thing of that time.
I feel like it is too.
Like that would
And-
never like that. I mean, I'd hope that would never happen today. But like, I feel like what was this like 1910?
Yeah, it was like, around that time. I mean, there's still fucked up people who would like do. You've seen that in like a movie before,
Well, yeah,
and you're like,
it's like
what
something
the
that would happen
fuck?
in a movie where you're like, that's not believable. Like, why would anybody do that?
Exactly. But I mean, I bet there's some whack jobs out there that would, do this whole story probably. I mean, when we get to the end, you're like, oh my God. So we'll keep going. So soon afterward, Amelia, the oldest, was joined by her sisters, Christine and Leah. So now all three sisters are together. And, like I said, who Clemence intended would remain at the orphanage until age 15. So the mom sent them to the orphanage, or she sent Amelia to the orphanage, and then the other daughters were taken care of by the aunt and uncle, and I believe that like the mom Clemence was like, send them to the orphanage as well because I'm still their mother, and she got like weird say in what happened to them because she said that they would have to stay at the orphanage until age 15 when they would be employed. So I don't get the laws in this like backwards early 19
Because they didn't have
hundreds.
laws.
Yeah, I know. It's just like survive as long as you can and don't covet thy neighbor's goat. But it's really weird because she got like so much say in their childhood and like send them to the orphanage, they'll get jobs, and you'll see that she has more say in it, and it doesn't make sense. And if you give up your children, if you give up your children, you don't get a say in what they do anymore. It's just like, it's fucking crazy. But in a silver lining, Clemence and Gustav divorced shortly after this. I guess that's a silver lining, so they could both go ruin other people's lives, I guess. I don't know.
That sounds good.
So, as the only bright little light in this story, Amelia, the oldest, the one that got molested by her father, did get a job when she turned 15 and decided to join a convent, virtually ending her relationship with her horrible family. And she was never heard from again, which is like probably the best thing that could have ever happened in this situation.
Yeah.
So, as for Christine and Leah, though, they would eventually find employment of a different kind. You see, Christine also wanted to join the convent. Christine was the second oldest. She also wanted to join the convent like her older sister. But Clemence did not allow this as it would make her no money in the long run. So Clemence forbade this and instead began placing Christine and Leah in different homes in Le Mans to work as live-in maids.
Okay.
So
I feel like, I mean, obviously, like, that does sound shitty, but at the same time, at least you, like, get to, like, live in
Yeah, but-
some rich person's place.
Yeah, but the fucked up thing was like the mom was like taking some of the money, and you were kind of forcing them to. They're like, oh, we want to be like maids too. I mean, maids, Jesus Christ. We want to be nuns as well. But the mom's like, you don't get to be nuns, and it's like, why does she get to say you? We're in an orphanage. You're not taking care of us. Like,
Yeah, you're not my mom.
it's ass backwards. So, although this wasn't the girls' first choice, of course, they did end up doing good work in the long run. You see, Christine was described as a hard worker and a good cook who could be insubordinate at times. And Leah was described as quiet and introverted, but obedient and was considered less intelligent than Christine. So they did have some flaws, but they were good workers. See, employers were content with their work. However, Clements was not satisfied with their pay, forcing them to seek better paid opportunities constantly. So like I said, even when she got the job, she got them the jobs as like maids. They'd be working. They'd be like, oh, you're doing a great job. The mom would be like, more money, more money, more money.
That's how you lose your job.
That's, yeah. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. My mom showed up to my career and why are you paying my son more?
My mom walked on the set and found the director. He doesn't even pay me.
Mr. Abrams, I presume? Why are there no sexy robots in your movies? Mom, I thought you were going to say something about my pay. No. I have many things to talk to Mr. Abrams about. Okay, I'm done.
You need to make Spock sexier, Mr. Abrams. He did the newer Star Trek.
He did.
Right?
He did. Yeah, he did. So after numerous homes and jobs, Christine eventually found herself at the home of the Lancelin family. M. Rene Lancelin, a retired solicitor, his wife Leonie, and their younger daughter Genevieve lived in the house, and Christine would do most of the chores and upkeep for the family. So there's 3 people living in the house. There was Renee, Leonie, and Genevieve, and Christine was their only live-in housekeeper. And obviously they were very wealthy and well off. But after a few months of excellent service, Christine convinced Madame Lancelin to hire Leah as well, her younger sister. The 2 girls dedicated their lives to working long 14-hour days doing backbreaking work that was viewed as exceptional by the Lancelins. So even though they had really long days, it was viewed as like, they did do a good job. The family did like appreciate them, and they're like, oh, you guys do like great work. And they probably got paid pretty well because they ended up staying there for many years, and the mom didn't pull them and be like, now put boobs on BB-8. 2 more orbs on that little orb.
It will balance out the other orb. Counterweights, JJ, counterweights.
I feel like this is you dressed in your robes in the forest waiting for the ravens. That's the voice you use.
Well, halfway,
JJ.
I'm either yelling about the Ravens or JJ Abrams not putting enough boobs on robots.
More boobs on the robots. However, some years after Christine and Leah started working for the family, Madame Leonie developed depression, and the girls became the target of her mental illness.
I feel like sometimes these people are just cursed. Like, it just follows them.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like they got such a shit end of the deal, and like, even though they're about to do something completely horrible, I do have like a shred of sympathy for them, because I go, it's kind of like those people who like, okay, it's hard because everybody always says this where they go, oh, I had horrible things happen to me as a child, and that's why I'm a murderer. That's why I kidnap people and sexually assault people. And you go, you know what? That's horrible. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for your situation. But there's a lot of people out there who had horrible childhoods that don't do that too. But, I still feel a shred of sympathy because I don't think anybody should have to go through what they went through, obviously. So
Absolutely. I mean, for whatever reason, I don't even know what they're gonna do next. That's so bad. But it's like, especially like back then too. It's like, fuck it, kill people. Who gives a shit?
You never get caught.
No, obviously I'm kidding. But I feel like back then, like things were much worse than they are now. But
Oh my God,
that also
yeah.
comes from someone who's had it, pretty easy.
I know. I mean, recently I heard somebody talking about like, oh, this is the craziest time we've ever lived through, and then they like showed a timeline starting with like the last influenza, the Spanish flu, and they're like, World War I, World War II, the Great Depression. Or the Great Depression was in there.
Great Depression. We lost half our gravity.
Like, I feel weird. My body
My neck.
feels weird.
Oh, my neck and my knees are just aching.
We used to be. Everyone used to be 8'4", and then the pressure. It's the pressure.
I could dunk last week, and I can't even touch the net.
The damn pressure. But basically, they're just saying that they're in the like Vietnam War and like all these horrible things that happened. I mean, all the horrible like mistreatment of minorities. You know what I mean? Like all this horrible stuff has happened, and
I mean, a lot of it's still happening for a lot of people, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, like, this isn't the craziest time necessarily. It's just one of the crazy times. And to think about it, at least, like, we're not getting bombs dropped on us currently. You know, like,
yeah,
we could. People couldn't hide in their houses without dying. We have that option. You know,
yeah.
So
I mean, I always think of when COVID first started, and everybody was like, "Oh, we have to quarantine, stay in our homes." And it's like, there's like, people like ourselves that were in LA in tiny, shitty little apartments that were just like, you don't want to be in there at all, and you have to be stuck there. And then like people like Sam Smith, who posts an Instagram of him crying on his doorstep of his like $10 million home that had like 3 indoor pools.
Did he do that?
Yeah, he was just like crying like,
no.
oh, it's so hard being locked up. And it's like, dude, you live in a mansion
And
with
like
heated pools.
It's
like,
hard
multiple.
too. It's hard too because like everybody goes through their own struggle. Like it could be like
absolutely.
mental health. It could be like other stuff, and like you don't want to, dismiss like anybody like feeling sad or something like that. But you gotta go.
Absolutely.
You gotta go. What do we have right now? Like we're doing okay. We're not like so bad, but we're still. It's not the best. We just had a very good time for a while, and now we have to calm it down just for a little bit.
I mean, I always feel guilty. It's like, oh, I have to be locked at home and watch TV shows and play video games. Oh, no.
Fuck.
I hate doing that. I hate being lazy and being forced to stay inside. That's
Well, since I can't leave the house, I just send my crow to go pick up my fillet mignons, and it's working out well for me.
that bird, it gets you the fish quick, but he might take a nibble.
Where's the butthole? You said you leave the butthole for me. Why'd you eat the butthole? Anyway, do fish have buttholes?
Every 3 is mine.
So, I don't even know what the fuck I was saying. So, So, like I said, she developed depression, and the girls became the target of her mental illness. And she began to scrutinize the cleaning and had become critical of the job done. And there were various occasions when Madame Lancelin physically assaulted the girls, and the abuse worsened to the point that she would slam the girls' heads against the wall. So if it wasn't the mom, it was their pseudo mom / boss,
Yeah.
So just raw deal, really shitty. So on the evening of Thursday, February 2nd, 1933, Monsieur Lancelin was supposed to meet Madame Leonie. I keep messing up all their names, but he was supposed to meet his wife and his daughter Genevieve for dinner at the home of a family friend. Before heading to the dinner, Monsieur Lancelin returned home to find the house dark. He assumed that his wife and daughter had left for the dinner party already and proceeded to the party by himself instead. When he arrived at his friend's home, he found that his family was not there either. He then returned to his residence with his son-in-law, where they discovered the entire house still dark except for a light in the Papin sisters' room, which was, I believe, on the top floor, kind of like the attic, which is very, very creepy. That's some like Haunted Manor. What was that show?
Beetleborgs.
Haunting of Bly Manor. Oh, I say Haunting of Bly Manor, I meant Beetleborgs, Jay Leno goes. Fuck. So, like I said, one lit candle up in the room. The front door was bolted shut from the inside, so they were unable to enter the house. The two men found this suspicious and went to a local police station to summon help from an officer. Together with the policeman, they responded to the Lancelin home, where the policeman made entry. It was just one at the time. I feel like in 1933 they just send one. I think every town has one.
At least one.
At least one, and a raven. So, they just sent the policeman. He made entry into the home by climbing over the garden wall. So French. Once inside, he found the bodies of Madame Lancelin and her daughter. Madame Lancelin and her daughter Genevieve. They had both been bludgeoned and stabbed to the point of being unrecognizable.
That's always a bad sign. Because
Someone's mad. Someone's mad.
Yeah, when you get to the unrecognizable state, that usually is.
It was self-defense.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage.
They fell on my chainsaw. It wasn't my fault. So, okay, like when someone falls on your chainsaw, it's super hard to get them off. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I tried to shake them off.
I mean, rule number 1 is turn your chainsaw off where you put it down, but, you know.
Oh, don't pretend like you know chainsaw etiquette.
Oh, boy, I know. You grease those chains every 3 times you turn it on.
I feel like you just have a rule of threes. You just keep saying every third fish, every third chainsaw.
It's the rule of thirds, baby.
so
You should know that.
Yeah,
You should know that.
That's a camera thing. Ooh, David's in the industry, everyone. So, Madame Lancelin's. Oh, here we go. Like I said, they're unrecognizable. But don't worry, because there's worse stuff, as Madame Lancelin's eyes had been gouged out and were found in the folds of her scarf around her neck.
Yeah, that's also not a good sign.
And one of Genevieve's eyes was found under her body and another on the stairs nearby.
Yeah, a lot of eye magic here.
Leave the poor eyes alone.
You gonna do the invisible dog thing?
The dogs did it, not me. They brought that one been nibbling on it near the stairs for a week. I seen it. They didn't.
It's floating. It's something's nibbling on. I can't see it, but that eye, it's being nibbled.
You know why we had to pluck the eyes out? Because they saw the dogs. No one could see the dogs. Here's the thing.
That's rule number 1. That's rule number 1.
Sometimes you don't want to see the dogs, because then the dog's going to make sure you don't see them no more. Anyway, so like I said, yeah, their eyes are all over the house, man. So, thinking that the Papin sisters had met the same fate, the policeman continued upstairs only to find the door of the Papin sisters' room locked. So they thought like somebody broke in, murdered the family, and then murdered the Papin sisters as well. Because like, oh yeah, there's like live-in maids. Like they probably got murdered as well, or ran, or something.
Sorry, do we know how old they were at this time?
Oh shit! It was 1933. Wait, let me just do some quick math.
Probably in like their 20s.
They were born in 1905 and 1911. So yeah, about 22, and one was 7 years older, so 29.
Cool.
22 and 29. So
those
like
are just the little details. I feast on them. I like to know those details. A little snack for me.
I want to know when I'm out of my prime, when I can't be murdering people no more. You can't be doing it once you're... murdering people's a 20s man's game. I'm going to leave it to the youngsters. My fingers have arthritis. I can't be plucking out your eyeballs. Kill Bill 2 style. That just fucked me up, man.
They're just so young and full of life and ready to take it from you.
So, like I said, the officers, where am I? You guys, don't ever make me you guys. I'm blaming David, but I'm blaming you guys too.
Guys.
So, like I said, they went to the Papin's sister's room, but it was locked. And after this officer knocked but received no response, he summoned a locksmith to open the door. Inside the room, he found the Papin sisters blood-soaked, naked, and in bed together with the bloody hammer covered in hair still clinging to it on the chair nearby. Upon questioning, the sisters immediately confessed to the killing. Ooh, as for a lawyer, you guys don't know what you're doing.
I mean, like, you say they're in bed. Like, are they, like, sitting there? Are they, like, laying down? They tucked in? Like, that's just, like, a weird spot to be without any more information. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, we're going to get some more information about that,
okay.
David.
Okay.
So, once I tell you some more information, I'll let you put two and two together. Oh, man, I got a stuffy nose, man.
It's the hay fever.
I was sneezing like a shit ton today.
Yeah.
Is there hay in the air?
My dad gets really bad hay fever.
Hmm.
He looked like a balloon man. He's all swollen up.
Hey, is that your daddy or that Valley Beauregard from the Willy Wonka movie?
Oh, okay.
That's the blueberry lady. Violet, you're turning violet. Anyway, sorry.
Yep.
So, give your dad some chewing gum and see what happens to him. So, as for the actual crimes, we're going to go into some detail right here, David. Here we go. As for the actual crimes that day, the girls told an in-depth, detailed account of what actually happened inside the house. Apparently, Madame Leonie and her daughter Genevieve had been out. This is fucking crazy. Had been out shopping that day, and when they returned home that afternoon, no lights were on in the house. Here's where it gets fucking insane. Madame Leonie questioned the sisters about the outage, and the Papin sisters explained to the Madame that the power outage had been caused by Christine urinating into an electrical socket.
Yowza. The old zip-a-doo, zippity-dee-dah,
What is that?
zip-zap-zoo.
What is that? Why?
But did she, though?
I'm assuming. I don't know why they would lie about that as like a funny joke to get like imagine if the power went out because like somebody crashed into a pole and they're like why is the power out? So I'm like, I went in your fuse box and ripped everything out. Like, why would you do that? I also took a shit in your pillowcase. It's weird. I mean, they're obviously like there's some sort of like mental illness going on there. I don't know if they ever described like why they did that. Maybe it was like a revenge thing because they were getting their head slammed against the wall. So maybe they're like, if we pee on the light socket.
Did she actually slam their heads against the wall, or were they just threatened?
No, I think she actually like bounced their heads against the wall. Like,
Oh, I thought you just said they threatened to do that. Okay.
no, man, they were like bouncing like Buddha in I Love New York reality TV show from the mid 2000s when the big Buddha guy bounced Taylor Made's head off the wall.
What the fuck are you talking about? There's so many references you could have gone with. Name any basketball player. Fuck, man.
There is somebody out there who's like, I watched that episode of I Love New York. My friend brought that up one time. And he's like, remember when Buddha bounced Taylor Made's head off the wall? And I was like, oh my, it triggered like that Jimmy Neutron scene where they're going through his neurons and it like found it in the back of my brain.
No, everything you said was complete nonsense to me. I have no idea what show you're talking about, what people you're talking about. All I know is someone's named Buddha.
It was the offshoot of a Flavor of Love with Flava Flav. It was called I Love New York, and it was horrible. It was like a Rock of Love show, you know, with the poison guy.
Who was the one that everybody was fighting over?
New York. It was like a girl version.
The city, I understand, but who is the person that?
I think her real name was Tiffany.
So it's like an artist named New York?
No. Flavor Flav gave everybody nicknames in the house, and he called one girl Pumpkin, and he called it Pumpkin spit on New York. I remember that one.
It was like a Bachelor thing where the loser got their own show and probably made way more money.
Yeah, exactly.
You almost want to be the runner-up in that.
Yeah, you want to be a loser. Sometimes being the loser pays, I tell you. It hasn't paid me yet, but fuck, I'm waiting.
It's coming.
I'm just pissing on electrical sockets and waiting for my day, for my heyday. Hope it's not hay fever when the hay comes. Anyway, so Madame Lancelin became irate. I wonder why. Got piss in her sockets and attacked the sisters on the first floor landing. So she just straight up attacked the sisters. Christine then lunged at Genevieve, which is crazy. So the older sister lunged at the daughter and gouged her eyes out. So that was the first thing they did.
Like a wildcat.
Yeah. And then Leah joined in the struggle and attacked Madame Lancelin, gouging her eyes out as ordered by Christine. So like Christine's like gouging eyes out. She's like, you should probably gouge her eyes out too. She saw too much already.
Yeah.
PP in the socket, you
PP on the chicken.
PP on the chicken, but PP on the socket, you get the you get the empty sockets in your head. That's how that works. We empty your sockets. Maybe it was like a
First
shitty.
we fill them, then we empty them, bitch.
Exactly. You say first we put your lights out, then we put your lights out. Man, they should have said all of these. I tell you.
You better get used to the darkness, because that's all you gonna see.
Or not see. Anyway, so Christine ran downstairs to the kitchen where then she retrieved a knife and a hammer. And it's really easy to kill somebody now that they can't see. Have you seen Kill Bill 2? I'll say it again. But she just left her there, actually. So she ran down, got a knife and hammer, and she brought both weapons upstairs where the sisters continued their attack. At some point, one of the sisters grabbed a heavy pewter pitcher and used it to strike the heads of both Lancelin women. In the midst of the rage, oh my God, a pewter pitcher?
Yeah.
You hit me with a pewter pitcher.
It's gonna leave a dent.
Yeah,
Pewter's real soft.
I don't know what pewter looks like.
It's
Polish
like
the
silver.
pewter. Yeah, I think it's what they used to make silverware out of and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like fake silver that you gotta polish. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
it turns
get all
green like my
and
leg.
shit.
So now it's my leg too. This podcast is cursed.
We're deteriorating.
Send us pictures of your stinky leg, everyone, if you listen enough. So, in the midst of the rage, they mutilated the bottoms and the thighs of the victims. What is? They messed up the butts and the thighs too? I don't get what that really means. They mutilated the bottoms and the thighs of the victims. Let's use your imagination on that one. So, experts who later responded to the scene estimated that the attack lasted about 2 hours.
Oh.
I hope they died before that. I assume they did, especially when the pewter pitcher came in, and then the sisters who were peepeeing in all the sockets and stuff like that probably were just like, yeah, well, we're crazy, so let's just keep hitting them. Nothing says. You know what? At that point, if you murdered somebody, you might as well, right? Because then, people are like,
no.
oh, they're crazy. They're really crazy, right? You gotta just, if the cops are coming, and you just killed somebody, just cover yourself in meatloaf packet dust, the packet that they sell. You just cover yourself in that. Start calling every Chuck E. Cheese in the area, and just really double up on the crazy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
You want the insanity plea,
Yeah. Sure. I mean, that's what you're going for. Yeah, why not?
Meatloaf dust. That's always a straight walk to the mental hospital. What are you in here for? I killed my mom and I ate her organs and I strung her up and I used her as a kite. What are you in here for? Meatloaf dust? Why do you ask?
Yeah. We don't talk to meatloaf dust guys. He's
That
too
guy.
crazy.
That guy's fucking crazy. What did he do? Well, he peed in a socket first, then he covered himself in meatloaf dust. I think they just put him in here. He didn't even kill anybody. So, so the description given at the scene of the crime by Jacques Lacan, a French psychoanalyst and psychiatrist, was that of an orgy of blood.
I wonder if there's an older term for that word.
He's like, it's like somebody had a bunch of sex in the room, but there was blood. That was a horrible French accent.
He stank like blood. That was more of a vampire.
Yeah, which works. There we go. It all comes full French vampire. There we go. So the sisters, upon questioning, confessed to the murder, like we said, immediately. However, claimed that it was committed in self-defense. True, but you pee-peed in their socket, and then they just attacked you, and you pewter-potted them. You pewter-potted them, and you plucked their plums. You never pluck a plum and then pewter-pot someone.
Yeah. I mean, that's just courtesy.
So during the trial, the sisters protected each other and confessed sole responsibility for the crime committed. No snitches, loving that. The sisters were placed in prison and separated from each other as well. Christine became extremely distressed because she could not see Leah, and at one point, prison officials relented and allowed the two sisters to meet, and Christine reportedly threw herself at Leah, unbuttoning her blouse, begging her, "Please say yes," suggesting an incestuous sexual relationship. So that might explain the naked in bed thing together. Not sure. Please say yes. I've never said that.
I'm not.
Am I not doing it right?
Just continue. I don't have a comment.
Okay. So, I mean, some people also said that it was some psychoanalyst guy was like, no, it's just familial. It's not incestuous. But, like, I still don't think there's a clear answer to this. So, because they're both very quiet about that subject, I believe. So, in July of 1933, Christine experienced a fit or episode in which she tried to gouge her own eyes out. Okay. And had to be put in a straitjacket. This was the older sister.
Okay.
She then made a statement to the investigating magistrate in which she said that on the day of the murder, she had experienced an episode like the one she had had in prison, and that this was her this is what precipitated the murders. So basically, she was just saying, I had a fit. I'm not usually like this. I have something broken in my brain. They're basically just trying to get the insanity plea.
Yeah.
The sisters' chosen lawyer pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity on behalf of them, which is crazy to think that insanity was like a thing in 1933, because it seems like so much more of like a modern day, especially if you look at like the DSM-1 where they're like, oh, you're an idiot. Like that was like, a diagnosis where like you just had a mental handicap, and they're like, you're an idiot. You have something like, if you were like slightly on the spectrum, they'd be like, put them in a mental institution. They cannot be in society. And like, that wasn't even that long ago. And now they're like,
it really wasn't.
Yeah. And now they're like, oh yeah, people are insane and we will treat them differently in 1933 and probably even before that. So it's very interesting that, that was involved. Christine and Leah demonstrated signs of mental illness such as limiting eye contact, staring straight ahead, appearing to be in a daze. The court appointed 3 doctors to administer psychological evaluations of the sisters to determine their mental state. They concluded that the two had no pathological mental disorders and deemed them sane and fit to stand trial. They also believed that Christine's affection for her sister was based on family ties, not an incestuous relationship, as others had suggested. Like I said, they were like, no, this isn't incestuous. This is just like they have like one of those twin links, but we're going to find out exactly it's not a twin link. It's more of a psychological power disorder that they share.
More of a Jack Links.
Is that where they got all that strength from? That Bigfoot strength?
Yeah, now Bigfoot beef jerky.
They each picked up one side of the woman and tore her in half like a Bigfoot. Ugh. You've seen those commercials. You don't mess with the Bigfoot's jerky.
It's like a Bigfoot that you just took his bag of spicy teriyaki jerky from.
Honestly, those commercials scared the shit out of me.
They stopped doing them.
He would like launch someone like 50 feet in the air and like hit him
He'd
over the head
murder
with
people, and people
Yeah.
would laugh.
Yeah. He'd like jam their head into a tree and like straight up cause paralysis.
He would like pretzel a man and put him in a briefcase, and people laughed.
People are like, "That's old beef jerky boy."
That's old Bigfoot, big jerky boy.
That's
the
all
big
jerk
jerky boy.
squatch, jerk squatch. So,
Big jerky jerk squash.
however, during the September 1933 trial, medical testimony noted a history of mental illness in the family. Who would have guessed? All of us who are reading the story. Their uncle had committed suicide, apparently, while their cousin was also living in an asylum at the time. The psychological community struggled and debated over a diagnosis of the sisters, and after much consideration, it was concluded that Christine and Leah suffered from shared paranoid disorder, which is believed to occur when groups or pairs of people are isolated from the world, developing paranoia, and in which one partner dominates the other. This was especially true of Leah, whose meek personality was overshadowed by obstinate and dominant Christine. Obstinate? Guess I don't know that word. Pulled that one right from Wikipedia, like most of this. There we go. So, so after the trial, jurors took 40 minutes to determine that the Papin sisters were indeed guilty of the heinous crimes of which they had been accused. So they did not get the insanity plea, of course, which, again, I have sympathy for them. I feel bad. They might be suffering from some form of mental illness. I don't know if it's I don't know the line where they go, this is insanity, this is just mental illness that led to murder. You know what I mean? Like, you could say anger issues are a form of mental illness, but is that insanity? Like, do they know what they're doing and can control it, or can they not? You know? Yeah. So Leah, though, was put on. Oh, so they said that Leah, though.
Jesus, man.
Excuse me. What did you say?
I just want to give you a breather.
Thank you. So
you've been going for a long time.
I'm insane
story.
now. Get away there! Give me your eyeballs. I'm talking to my
Tough
cats.
times don't last. Tough people do.
Oh, I love that guy. I fucking love that guy. Tough people last. So where was I? Oh yeah, Leah, though, was to be put. Was apparently, they said that she was put under the influence of her older sister and was given a 10-year sentence, while Christine was initially sentenced to death at the guillotine, but her sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment instead. So they said Christine was the ringleader, Leah was kind of under a trance, and Leah only got 10 years. Christine got the death penalty and then life. So the separation from Leah proved to be too much for Christine, and her condition deteriorated rapidly once they were apart. She had written various letters pleading to be with Leah. However, her wish was not to be granted. She's kind of like a junkie with a fix. She's like, I need it. I need my sister. Like, I don't know if it was a control power thing or if it was like, obviously she loved her, I believe. But
I feel like most of it could also just be the fact that, like, in their entire life, they were the only ones that, like, they had
100%. It was kind of like that
dependence.
That shared experience where, you know, if you don't have somebody who's like, oh, remember when we plucked their eyeballs out? Like, who are you going to tell that to? There's no one who's gone through that. Hey, guard. Remember?
Oh, he might have, actually.
You ever plucked a lady's eyeballs? I was like, yeah, never got caught neither. He's from New York for some reason. He's in a French prison. He's
that's why he's there.
Yeah, never got caught neither. Me and Jimmy Buckets went down there and plucked a lady's eyeballs out. Anyway, sorry. So, Christine experienced bouts of depression and madness, eventually refusing to eat, and prison officials transferred her to a mental institution in Rennes, hoping that she would benefit from professional help. But still separated from Leah, she continued to starve herself until she died of cachexia, which is wasting away on May 18th, 1937. So she literally just stopped eating until she died of starvation,
That's wild.
which really, really shows like the mental
Willpower.
Well, I was going to say that they're the mental illness, really.
Yeah.
Because like a normal person would be like, I'm going to do it until it's really hard, and then there's like food in front of me still, so I'm gonna break.
Yeah.
But somebody who's like insane would just be like, nope, I'm gonna keep doing this. So Leah fared better than Christine, serving only 8 years of her 10-year sentence due to good behavior in prison. After her release in 1941, she lived in the town of Nantes, Nantes, I think it's Nantes,
Yeah.
where she was joined by her mother. Get the mom out of there, man.
Mommy bad.
Mom
That's a bad
bad.
mommy. That's a bad mommy. Get that mommy out of here. She's a bad mommy. Guys, I mean it. Get that mommy out of here. Get the mommy out of the situation. She's a bad mommy.
I love a grown man saying that. You guys, seriously, why is the mommy here? You brought the mommy to the trial? Your Honor, I'm going to have to call a dismissal. I'm going to have to ask for a dismissal. Somebody brought the mommy here.
Your Honor, can we get the mommy out, please? Your Honor, the mommy is going to make everything worse. Please, can we remove the mommy from the court?
I have to say, if daddy shows up, I'm going to scream. If daddy shows up, I'm screaming.
This case cannot. It really cannot go further with mommy and daddy in the courtroom. We need to ask mommy and daddy to leave now, and I mean it. Bailiff, can I get mommy and daddy out of the courtroom, please?
Judge Daddy, I'm not going to ask you again. Oh God, that's funny. So, like I said, she's living with mommy again, bad mommy, living with a bad mommy again. But she assumed a false identity and earned a living as a hotel maid. Ooh, too close for comfort, in my opinion.
Yeesh.
Some accounts, just to wrap this up, some accounts state that Leah died in 1982, but French film producer Claude Ventura claims to have discovered Leah living in a hospice center in France in 2000 while creating the film I'm doing like a Spanish thing.
Sounds Spanish.
Enque de source Papin, in English, in search of the Papin sisters. The woman he claimed to be Leah had suffered a stroke which had rendered her partially paralyzed and unable to speak. This woman died in 2001, which is kind of like weird because like for his film, I bet it would be a really good ending to find one of the Papin sisters, and he could have just walked into a hospice center to a woman who was like literally unverbal from a stroke and didn't know. She was just like sitting in a chair, and he's like, "Was your mommy bad?" And she's
Bad
like,
mommy.
and he's like, "Look, she blinked 3 times. That means bad mommy."
Bad
Or
mommy.
David, what does that mean? What does that mean in the rule of 3s? Does that mean bad mommy?
Typically 3 means bad mommy. 6 is bad daddy. And 9,
I don't even want to know what 4, 5, 7, and 8, 1, and 2 are.
they're blank.
Oh, just like their eyes. No more in there. Just to wrap this up, it says the sisters are buried together in the Cimetière Boutelleria in Nantes. So, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about if that wasn't the woman, like who's buried in. I mean, we could have just figured this out by like, is the woman in 2001 that died, was she buried next to her sister, or was somebody else buried there in 1982 and this film producer lied?
It's possible.
I'm guessing the dude lied.
Get desperate.
Yeah, I think.
I
he
mean, you
might
don't
have.
get that. The film's wash, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Especially if you called it in search of the Papin sisters.
And you don't find them.
He's like, I think I found him, and it's like a black man, and everyone's like, what? He's like, time really changes you. Isn't it kind of strange how time works like that? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, oh, he doesn't.
He's like 25.
Yeah, she's like, she doesn't know where she is. She's clearly insane. Anyway, so that's the story of the Papin sisters.
Lovely.
And it was quite a tale.
All right, today, Tobin, we are going to talk about one of the most dominant and polarizing athletes to ever grace the earth. And this man's name was Maurice Flitcroft.
Ooh, he sounds like an athlete.
Or was it?
Oh, no, he doesn't sound like an athlete.
Maurice became a notorious golf player after hitting one of the most incredible scoring games to ever be recorded in the game of golf. And this story takes us to the 1976 Open Championship.
That's weird because I was going to say North Korea and Kim
No.
Jong-un's 18 straight hole-in-ones.
No, this is better.
Or is it Kim Jong-il's? One of them hit 18 straight hole-in-ones.
Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, I think he did. He's
That's the
very
daddy.
good.
He's the daddy, right?
That's the bad daddy.
Yeah, he was. Oh boy, speaking of bad daddies.
His daddy had a big old boil on the side of his head that he tried to hide from everybody.
That was a boil daddy.
Did you know about that?
No.
He had a giant goiter on like the side of his head, like on his neck, and he could only be photographed from one side, and all of his paintings were from one side, and they couldn't remove it because it was connected to like some nerves in his spinal cord, so he just had to have it there for his entire life, and he wouldn't let like people see him on like one side of his body or something like that.
So that was like 2 generations ago.
Yeah, his daddy.
Okay.
Daddy.
Daddy's daddy.
Boil daddy.
Big boiled daddy.
Big
So,
goiter dad.
So this like I was saying, this takes us to the 1976 Open Championship. And according to Marcus's memoirs, I called him Marcus. Maurice's memoirs.
Oh, shoot.
He took up golfing after watching the 1974 Piccadilly World Match after becoming fascinated with the game. He decided, yeah, I'm going to become a pro golfer. And so you'd think, you must be a hell of an athlete to master the sport only, in only 2 years, learning to play in the Open Championship. Well, Maurice Flitcroft, that's a hard one to say, Flitcroft was a 47-year-old chain-smoking shipyard crane operator with an unforgettable sense of humor.
That seems like exactly like what that guy would say. Like, oh, well, I could be a pro golfer. That's not hard.
He was also, he was a terrible golfer, which we will soon learn about. Maurice had high expectations like many people do after watching professional golf, because it has to be the sport that looks the easiest, but is actually one of the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever felt that, but you ever like watch like Tiger just go off, and you're like, that doesn't look that hard. And then you go out there and you break a club in half on your own foot.
Yeah, I literally watched somebody go in front of me, and I go, I could do that, and then I just like shank it, Arnie Shankman, and just like go right. It just goes right every time. I've played a couple good. I got a birdie.
Wait, are you left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed.
And you shank it right?
Yeah, because I have like a baseball swing, so I dip my shoulder kind of sometimes. I have to like really focus on like my swing, because I revert to like this baseball swing where I kind of drop my shoulder, and it just like I open up the club and it goes to the right too much, and it's all bad news bears.
Yeah, I want to get into golf more. It's in my blood.
It's fun. It's something that can be used to your advantage in the business world, from what I've seen in movies.
My grandfather was a huge golf shark.
Oh, so he'd be like, "Oh, how do you hold a club? How do you hold a club?" And then and then he'd be like, "Boom!" Bomb it down the fairway.
Yeah, he would go to like the little putting green area at golf courses and just like shank balls left and right. and people would like kind of laugh at him, and he'd be like, "Oh, you think it's funny?" Like, or like I don't know how you'd actually strike up the conversation, but it would like lead into like a bet, and then he'd just clean him out.
I mean, that's the thing. You got to play it. You got to be very like confident in your skills, because you also can't blow them out of the water, because then people go, "I'm going to kick your ass," you know?
Yeah.
You got to make it like, "Oh, I had a good game. Wow, lucky me."
Yeah. So, posing as a professional golfer, he managed to get a place to play in the qualifying round of the Open Championship.
What?
And even though that he convinced officials that he was a pro, the fact was his previous golfing experience involved some grab-assing around in his yard, trying to hit balls into coffee cups that he had dug into the ground, working on hitting the ball out of sand at the local high school long jump pit. Yeah, so now with that level of experience...
He's resourceful.
Yeah, with that level of experience, how could he fail? Maurice recalls after the championship by saying, "I was looking to find some fame and fortune, but only achieved one of the two." When Maurice found out that any amateur entering the competition had to have an official handicap, which in this case, Maurice had never actually played the game and did not have a handicap. I'm not sure he knew what it was.
Did you just walk with a limp?
So he claimed to be a professional that was unattached. So like he said he was like a professional that didn't have like a sponsorship or anything. And he did that just to avoid a handicap instead of just lying and giving them a number that probably could have helped him in the end.
Oh, God.
So
I thought you were going to say he was like, "I'm blind," and that that was his handicap. And everyone was like, "Whoa, famous blind golfer."
I honestly Googled it because I wasn't sure if he thought that it was like a handicap as in, you know, like a physical injury or anything like that, or if he knew what a handicap was.
Obviously not either.
So knowing that he was in the game, like he like registered and got into it, he realized he should probably learn more about the game of golf instead of completely winging it. So he did the best possible thing he could to prepare for the match. And no, it wasn't actually playing a few rounds of, or hitting, the putting greens or like the driving range. Maurice prepared for the tournament by studying a golf instruction manual by Peter Alice that he found at his local library.
Smart man.
Then he wandered down to the beach to practice what he read in the sand.
The sand is such a small aspect of the game.
Well, he got confused. He read the sand trap chapter too many times.
How do I get it out of this hellhole?
He's walking up. He's like, "Where? A lot of green out here. Where's?
Well, you gotta rake this shit after
the fucking sand.
You gotta rake this."
So, Tobin, what always happens when people make a big nasty lie?
They never get caught, and it always works out.
There always comes a time where their cover is blown and the truth is revealed. This is Maurice's downfall. All the cards were on the table when Maurice managed to score a 49 over par and a 121, the worst score in the tournament's history ever. It was so bad that some people, like some of the other professionals playing in the tournament, were so pissed off that they demanded a refund for their entry fee back, which was granted.
Why didn't they? That was like they were gonna win.
I don't know. They probably played bad and were like, "It was a distraction. I want my money back." Or something like that.
Probably.
It was so bad that the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews, a.k.a. the R&A, slapped Maurice with a lifetime ban from not just golf tournaments, but a lifetime ban from all of their courses.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
It was so bad that they didn't even want to give him a chance to practice and get better. They're just like, no, fuck this guy.
And it's so funny too because do you really need to show your ID at a golf course? I love it when there's when people go you're banned. I always get, you're banned from every Starbucks because you pee-peed in our light sockets. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you don't take my ID when I get coffee. Who's going to, like,
Yeah.
you guys have wanted posters of me all around in every fucking state, like, looking for me?
Well, that's the thing, though, is I think it was, like, a pretty big deal. Like, everybody knew who he was.
Oh, in the golf world, everyone's like, this is the guy.
I mean, the golf world is a much tighter community than the Starbucks world, I would assume.
I don't say that. Why would you say that? Starbucks community is so tight. Do you know what they do for our birthdays?
No.
They give us 8 hours to go get a cup of coffee, and then they revoke it very quickly if you don't. Coffee?
Nope. You're a minute past.
Dude, I got 2 emails for my birthday. One was from Starbucks, and they're like, "You have to get this now. You have 5 minutes to get your cup of coffee." And then Coffee Bean was like, "You have a whole month to take. Like, if you want to come get it in a month, you can." Starbucks is weird about it, dude.
Yeah, stingy. So it was only after he started to show his talents that the other golfers noticed that Maurice was basically playing with a Dollar Tree golf set.
Wait, there's a pink unicorn in there? Purple
Yeah.
unicorn?
It's funny, I had that in here before you told that story. And from his appearance and abilities, he gained the alias of the Royal and Ancient Rabbit.
What's that?
I don't know. I must have been like an old English like insult.
Oh, I see.
No, fucking no.
40, what was it? 49 over par and 121 final.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, par is, let's just say like a hole. At the beginning of every hole, it'll say like 3 or 4 or 5, and that's how many hits it is supposed to take on average to get the ball in the hole on that hole. So if it says 5,
ideally you want to do above that.
You want to do below that.
I mean, well, okay, yeah.
You want to hit it in on like a hole in one. The lower your score is, the better it is. And par for a course, when people say like, oh, that's par for the course, it would be like 74. That means it would take 74 hits to play the course exactly like average of like what people should be playing if you're like a pretty good player. If you hit below par, you're a really good player. If you hit far below, you're like a great player. He was 45 over par, and he ended with like a 121. So the course was like probably like, you know, like a quick maths. I don't know.
I don't know.
80 something.
Yeah.
80 something. But yeah, it's wow. That's so funny. I would love to see that putting game. It'd be like putt, 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 pass the hole, pass the hole, pass the hole, pass the hole.
Yeah, there was like a old newspaper that was like saying something about how he might have been confused by the map because he hit the ball the wrong direction multiple times. And
no, it's probably just like me.
His comment was that where he messed up was he left his 9-iron in the boot of his car, which with that club he's a dead shot with it. But
oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So after his big debut, he was quickly known as the world's worst golfer. But you know how it is. Men like Maurice couldn't stop there. But where could he go? There's only one direction to go, and that's up. So after he was so proudly initiated into celebrity golf world by being, you know, the worst, Maurice was considered a C-list celebrity. Which is sad because there's probably thousands of good golfers who dedicate their lives to the game, and no one will ever remember them, but they remember the guy that was just like horrifically bad.
We're talking about him.
Exactly. There you go.
It's so like he's the Tommy Wiseau of golf.
That's a great analogy.
Tommy Wiseau is the director and actor in the infamous horrible movie The Room. If you haven't seen it,
so good.
The Disaster Artist. That's what that movie is about.
If you haven't seen it and you enjoy this podcast, then that movie is for you, I would say.
It's great.
Through his C-list status, Maurice would start to collect various golf trophies named after him for things like poor play or egregious mishaps. He also had the honor of having the Maurice Gerald Flitcroft member guest tournament named in his honor by the Grand Rapids Blythefield Country Club.
See, these are golf courses I want to go to. These are the cool golf courses. Some snooty ass shit kicking me out.
The Blythefield Head Pro sounds like a terrible title to own. Said that it started as a lark, but most people can't break 90, so they relate more to Maurice than they would to a touring pro. What a douche.
Yeah. Oh, you're big time. You're at the Blythe Golf Course, man. Blythe Country Club. No one's heard of you. I'm glad you left his fucking name out. Was that Tiger Woods?
I'm glad that his title is, he has the title of Head Pro.
I think it's, the emphasis is in the wrong spot. But I agree.
Yeah.
It's not a great name.
So by the 22nd Maurice G. Flitcroft member guest tourney, the club decided to spice things up by using a green that had not one but 2 holes just to help the players out.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so they had holes. You have to hit the ball in the hole. They put 2 of them on the green, so
just so
if
you were
closer to one.
Oh my god!
But it didn't stop there. Not only did they have more targets to shoot at, but these 2 holes had a 12-inch cup to it.
Oh my god! What's a normal cup size?
I googled it. The normal golf hole is 4 1/4 inches.
Oh my god! It was 12 inches.
Yeah, it's 3 times bigger than the normal.
Oh my god! That's amazing. I love that.
It's a full foot.
That's a frisbee, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You can't
So,
miss.
At one point, the big dog himself, Maurice, flew to Blythefield to play in the golfing event. A great side note is that apparently he mentioned to another golfer that it was nice to be out of the house because it was the first time him and his wife had gotten out of the house since their gas oven exploded.
Oh, Maurice. Oh, Maurice.
Many spectators were surprised when Maurice played into the low 90s, which Maurice said, "I wasn't playing too well. Some faults had crept into my swing, but I hit a lot of good shots." So he played much better than he usually did in the, under the spotlight. So
That's
at the end of the
cool.
day, Maurice attempted to qualify for the British Open, which he tried 6 times, which 4 of those times he had to use a random alias because he was banned from most courses with dignity.
Mm-hmm.
And, like most stories, this has to come to an end. On March 24th, 2007, at the age of 77, Maurice Flitcroft passed away from a lung infection, which had to have come from his years of chain smoking. He may have never understood the Royal Ancient's problem with the way he played the game, because to him, it was only a game, and a game that he loved. So yeah, that's the end. There's a really good book. I think it's a good book. I bought it for my brother-in-law for his birthday, Christmas. I don't know. I got it for a gift, but it's called The Phantom of the Open, and it's a book about him. And I've been wanting to. I told him that I wanted to read it after he read it. So Andrew, if you're listening, I want that book.
I want that book back I gave you.
I'll give it back. Just let me hold it for 3 years, because it'll take me 3 years to read it.
You already know the big plot points too, so you just skim through that.
I just want the juicy details.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm missing a lot. I was telling Alex before we started. I was like, I wrote the whole fucking story, and then I found another article after I wrote it that had way better information on it, and it was too late for me to
That's a
really,
classic David right there.
Yeah, just shoot. So yeah, there's a lot better information about this story. You guys could.
You get what you pay for. We don't charge $18 a book. This is all free, baby.
Yeah, so our effort is minimal. At least mine is. So keep on listening.
Well, thank you, David. That's a great story. I really strive to play like Maurice more in the low 90s, because I think that's the best I'm getting.
there's a good message to it. Just don't worry about being the best. Just have fun.
Especially in a world of golf where you get that snooty
Do or die.
Yeah, it's just like it's so highfalutin. It's like, oh, we're better than you, and like you have to have a lot of money to play here. He's kind of like Bill Murray, He's just showing up trying to kill some gophers in Caddyshack, So
Classic film.
But yeah, I mean, it's such a fun. I love a good underdog story, or should I say, rabbit. But thank you guys so much for listening. Once again, we love doing this. We love telling you guys stories, and we love it when you stick around and listen. So, if you want any more information, go to our Instagram page at Camp Strange Podcast and click the link in the bio to find all the hyperlinks that you need for merch, to listen on any platform. If you want to rate, review, subscribe, that'd be cool. If you want to send us an email, send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. And what else do we have in the merch store, David? Because I know we're trying to bring this back a little bit, not every week, but David just so tired.
I got a beef brisket.
Oh, I love beef brisket. You know who loves beef brisket? Raven. That's so Raven eating beef brisket.
That's so Raven.
That's not even how the fucking song goes, man.
Really?
Well, not that high.
You sure?
Actually, no.
Not either.
You called my bluff. I have syphilis.
I have a cabinet, and it's full of needles.
I have a porcupine tomahawk.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I have it. Can't
I
have
have a
it.
foot-tall crab.
I have a bad mommy.
I have a translucent small boy.
What's his name?
His name's Roger, but he doesn't respond to it.
Go home, Roger. I have a honeysuckle plant that makes you more handsome when you honeysuckle it.
I've got a piccolo that opens an ancient door in a far distant land.
I have a pickle that opens a door in a far ancient land as well. Pickle?
I said piccolo.
Pickle.
Like the little flute.
Yes. I carved holes in mine too. Different reasons though.
I have a 32-year-old man who won't give up his high school theater career.
I have an electrician who never got any form of schooling, who's ready to fix your lights next to your son's crib. Too dark? He just pee-peed on the socket. I can't figure out
He's gonna
how
light
he
it
fixed
up.
it. How did he fix it? It's fixed, but it just smells like urine.
Just don't get within like a foot of that outlet. You're gonna get shocked. You're gonna get zapped. It's gonna sting.
You gonna get asparagus smell. Don't go near it. Well, how come he love asparagus so much?
I have origami tools. You can't use them. You just gotta look at them.
I have the bottom part of Wilson's face from Home Improvement.
Oh,
That's the guy who looks over the fence. You only see the top part of his face.
that guy's a real fucking creep. Home Improvement. How about fucking House Security Improvement? That dude's peeking through your windows.
Yeah, how about
Tim?
get the Papin sisters over there? There go your
Tim.
fucking eyes. Ooh, that peaked really loud. I'm sorry I did that.
Tim, you got to keep an eye on Wilson because he knows about your coke problem.
Dude, he did used to run coke, huh?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Tim out. I have
a guest appearance of Tim the Toolman Taylor on the Frasier reboot.
I have Patrick Stewart's underpants.
Hair? I have Patrick Stewart's hair.
Hairpiece?
No, just the real hair. I snatched it from him a long time ago.
Ooh, he looks better now.
Does.
Can't imagine him with hair.
Yeah, that
I
flat
don't.
top didn't match.
Oh, his Vanilla Ice costume was so good, though. Anyway, I think we should wrap it up. Should we do one more each?
I got a dog with 2 toes.
I can't beat that. I'm gonna try to beat it, and I can't beat it.
So you gotta leave a little bit of mystery, because then you're sitting there and go, shit.
What's
He's
that?
got 4 legs, but 2 toes.
What that boy built like?
What, has he got 2 on 1? He's got 1 on 2? What is it?
How that dog
He's got-
supposed
he's
to
got
wear
4 quarters?
jeans? Or he wear jeans on his 4 legs, or just on the back half? Anyway, thank you guys for listening. David, do you have anything to say before we leave?
Oh, no. Pop, lock, and drop it.
So good.
Thank you. It's inspiring, I know.
And don't forget to stay strange.